The first thing that struck me when I first came to Norman Rose Point was how innovative the building looks, as well as how nice the teaching team is. When I first came downstairs, being introduced to the pod and the community really gave me a benefit of being able to work with my friends and other people outside of my division that I didn't know yet.
As you progress through the year, they start to become your community. Like, you trust yourselves with them. You are not afraid to show what you learn because you trust them so much that you reach that kind of level. They might judge you, but they judge you for good reasons to help you become stronger, and you just start to create that bond.
Working outside one classroom gives me the opportunity to work with people with a wide array of skills instead of single skills in single disciplines for projects, so we can get projects done a lot faster and they can look a lot better.
The classrooms don't have walls. We have a glass sliding door that we generally never put down. We have our big common space. They're all open to each other. There are really not a lot of closed doors in NRP. We're a solar system. Instead of one planet moving around on its own, it's a whole bunch of us working and revolving around our teachers.
I have known everybody in my class but no one outside my class. So whenever I worked with anyone outside my class, I just didn't know either their names or just anything about them. Here at Norman Rose Point with the community system, I can branch out with a lot more people with a lot more different skills.
So in the morning, all the classes in the one pod come together into our learning common space, and we're told about what we're going to be doing that day, how it's going to work, what's happened. With our learning system, it's not ABCD, the marking. It's mastering, extending, refining, developing, and acquiring. So anything above mastering, which is kind of like the A level, it's extending. So it goes on forever. It's not putting a cap on it. You don't think, okay, I've got a mastering, I'm good now, I've got this.
If we have a math check-in, if you get, for example, an R, that doesn't mean you're gonna be R for the rest of the year. That's on that unit of math. You can always work on the check-in. It's not the final check-in. You can always work on the check-in at home or at school and then send it to your teacher, and then that's what you work on. Then maybe you've moved up to an M, and then eventually maybe an E, and then you're good.
Last year we had this inquiry project that we started building using money and budgeting to create this whole selling of a product, and you really had to thought of like the money process, which others would say was math, the science product, like creating the whole product itself, like understanding each single part of it, and then presenting it, like making it visually appealing for people to be interested in.
We have to ask an open-ended question and then find a way to integrate all our subjects and all our learning into that question to solve it ourselves. And it will lead to many more questions that we need to solve inside of that to have our big projects. I've chosen the discipline of lighting design, and my question is, how can we use lighting design and color psychology to assist in and enhance learning for all students? So basically science came into that with the color psychology and how it affects your brain, and just a couple days ago I needed to use math skills to figure out how far light travels and how soon it spreads out.
You're not only learning the basics that you should be learning through, let's say, your curriculum, but you're also getting the big picture and a bigger perspective of more than just the basics.
So I had to basically figure out what a lumen is, what a watt is, figure out how many lumens the sun gives off, how far away it is, how fast light spreads, and kind of make my own calculations to figure out that the light shouldn't be more than a meter away from you.
I started to do so much research. I started to overcome obstacles, and people started like seeing my abilities, because I was interested in myself, and when I'm interested in something, I really try hard to make it pop, because I want people to know that I did this, I was proud of it, and I was happy doing it too. And this school really helps you like support what you do.
If you don't have the passion for something in this project, you're not going to be able to complete the same level of work that you would if you do have the passion. We don't have textbooks at this school, which is something apparently some of our parents are concerned about. But the reason for not having that is because when you have a textbook, it says, okay, if you learn all this, then you got it, you're perfect. So you just sit there for a couple hours, memorize the whole textbook, and there, I'm done. I've finished grade 6 science, woohoo. So With our learning, it's really different. You have to go online yourself, figure out things yourself. When you finish something, I feel like, okay, I've done this. Now what am I supposed to do? There's nothing else to do. And then I go and I'm like, okay, so what can I start next? And my teachers are like, why don't you look into this? And then I go and I study about that, and that even gives me an idea to study about something else. So there really is no end. The internet goes on forever, so our learning can go on forever.
You can be strong alone, but you can be even stronger with more people.